Hello guys, welcome again. So let's talk about Bitcoin. Well, yesterday, remember what we said, like we are looking for shorts. So at least in my case, I'm looking for shorts because this area is not actually to, this area is actually for selling, not for buying. I know maybe you are expecting a breakout. Yeah, potentially yes, you are right. But following my system of trading, I know Bitcoin now is testing the resistance here. Yeah, it says in the resistance. Remember, we had this buy signal 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago here around $107,000, 108 around there. And from here, well, the projection was like this. The first target was 114. The second target was 118. 1118. So right now Bitcoin is testing the second area of resistance. Now, of course, as long as Bitcoin is below this area, I am not bullish in the long term. Actually, I am not bullish in the long term. This is just mid short term move. Now the volume actually is very interesting. It's actually increasing. Actually, is very nice. Yeah, I like it here. Volatility is expanding here, so potentially Bitcoin actually could break this area. But for now, honestly, I think in the short term, I'm looking for a pullback. I'm not saying crash, just pullback. And let me show you here in 4-hour chart. In 4-hour chart, as you can see here, Bitcoin is showing is very weak actually in the short term. As you can see here, we have since yesterday, Bitcoin is building some multiple better divergences here in OBB here, and also the volume is not following this move in the short term. So also we have the ADX negative here on, plus we have the curve, the momentum here. We have a obvious better divergence from this point and this point, and also here we have also the same setup here. So I'm looking for a short-term pullback, yes, and maybe around another test to $115,000, 400 around this area. This is the area actually I'm looking for another test in the short term. But if we see this test and we do see a bounce, I mean a quick bounce, something like this, right? Very, very fast, like this, because Bitcoin actually tested here the MA55, and after we saw a bounce here. If we don't see a bounce here and Bitcoin using sideways here, well, this could trigger a one-day sell signal. So actually, if we go to one-day chart, let me show you here. Bitcoin right now is, as I said before, is testing this area of resistance. No thank you here. I don't buy here. No thank you, right? No thank you. At least not for me. And also, as you can see here, we have potentially we could have a sell signal very soon, maybe today or tomorrow. The only thing Bitcoin must do right now is just closing below $116,000 today, and with that close you will see a trigger all the way down to 114k around there. Of course, this is still not bad. As long as it's above the MA55, it's still fine. It could be just a pullback, and also the volume is not very bad. But my concern here is we have the orange bars. As you can see here, we have 1, 2, brown, also brown. When you see these orange and brown bars, it's telling you all of these bounds here, all of these bounds, actually there are multiple better divergences, as you can see here. So usually when you see these kind of things, you follow the OBB principles, the volume must follow the price. So this is telling me this move, at least from this move, it could be a fake out. So that's why as long as Bitcoin is not breaking with a very strong bounce, I mean, I'm talking about a massive breakout, like something like this, something Bitcoin is doing this, right? Very, very strong bounce coming here in the future, and after that continuation, yeah, potentially yes. But as long as Bitcoin is below there, I am not very, very bullish in the midterm. Now, let's talk about a 12-hour chart. Let me show you here 12-hour chart. Volume is very healthy, actually, I can say it. Yeah, it's very, very healthy, right? So that's why I'm not expecting a massive crash. Of course not. But remember, only 4-hour chart and 12-hour chart, they are quite healthy. So this move is just short-term, mid-term, that's all. But I don't see the same setup, for example, in 3-day chart. 3-day chart, as you can see here, the volume is actually about to test the MA55 here, making higher lows over the time. And also the 3-day chart is actually we got ourselves a buy signal 1 week ago. Well, it's good, yeah, it's good, and it's very weak for a 3 days buy signal, because for example, the previous buy signal for in curve here, the last pump was around around here 40%. But as you can see here, this momentum here, this buy signal here is quite weak actually. So that's why now Bitcoin is not moving. What I'm trying to say is Bitcoin is losing momentum. Let me show you here in 5-day chart. In 5-day chart actually is very interesting here, because Bitcoin in 5-day chart, why I'm using 5-day chart is because the professional traders in CMEs, they work only 5 days. So that's why I remove weekends, right, in theory. So as you can see here, there is no volume here, and it's testing the seller line here. Any close below 118, 120 in this time frame is very obvious, is not bullish. So what we have to do here, the next candle is about to close actually in 3 days. So if we, in 3 days we don't see Bitcoin above 120, that is going to be our first warning sign. Actually this move, it was just a bounce, and after that we could see a continuation, something like this. Okay, so if we see this move to the downside, I can tell you there is a very high chance actually this could be actually the top of the market. There is a strong evidence right now. Bitcoin is forming, and not just only Bitcoin, USDT dominance is actually screaming for a very strong bounce. So that's why I am not calling the top right now, not yet, but there is a strong evidence. Potentially we are very close, or maybe potentially here, or very, very close to see the top of the market. So that's why, in my case, of course, I am shorting, I'm in long position, whatever, but I am not like in the long term very bullish, because actually I was very bullish before, right? Before, as you can see here, Bitcoin is an uptrend. That is a fact, right? We are in a bull market right now. So you're looking for alt seasons or whatever. I think you came here very late to the party, because the party started in 2023, 2022. Right now, it doesn't make sense to start looking for altcoins because all of them, they are so expensive, right? You're looking for Solana at $200 when actually it was at 25 in 2022, 2023. That was the moment to buy, not now. But well, it's just my opinion, right? So as you can see here, Bitcoin in weekly chart is still with this sell signal with bearish variance, and also use only that is also with multiple bearish variance here in BSA, BSA, OBB. And of course, the close is very simple, same thing. Below 120, 119K, that is gonna be the warning. Bitcoin actually is this is just a bounce. This is not a continuation. We have to see today and tomorrow maximum. Bitcoin must break 120 and actually keep doing new all-time highs. If that is not the case, we will see another leg down all the way down to 107, 108, and breaking this level, you will see a massive crash all the way down to 94. So what are the odds? Well, let me show you something else. In my weekly chart here, we have not just only, we have 1, 2, 3 strikes of bearish variance, not just only momentum, as well we have in the same situation, we have the same thing in curve, in OBB. If we see the monthly here, monthly is very interesting here. Actually, monthly is not looking that bad, but at the same time, it's very obvious what level Bitcoin must defend. If we see here, the volume, the area Bitcoin must defend is $107,000, $108,000, the last dip on 1-day chart. Yeah. So as long as Bitcoin is above here, I am still bullish. Potentially, yes, but I think this month we will know. If you see any close below $108,000, get ready, because the crash is gonna be actually significant. In monthly basis, $61,000, at least half, 50% crash. But as long as Bitcoin is above this line, everything should be fine. So that's why if you are bullish in crypto, you are bullish in Bitcoin, you don't want to see Bitcoin breaking this area. This area is the key area. Let me change the color to yellow, because this area is key. not just only one day chart, is actually key in the monthly. Now, if you see any close below here, game over for Bitcoin, 94, and after that, 65, $61,000, and maybe even lower. So that's why one thing I want to share with you guys, I think I said that this before, if you pay attention here, every time when Bitcoin right now is pumping and pumping, is pumping less and less and less in every bounce. For example, here from this one, it was very strong, almost 100%, and the second pump was here is 120, and now this pump is only 64. It's still very good, yes, but you see the pattern is actually losing momentum, right? It's losing momentum. So the next one, if there is another one, for example, from here, it could be maybe just 20% in average, because Bitcoin is losing like 50% momentum every time when it's pumping. So maybe around maybe 140, 135, if that happens. Yeah, but as I said before, I will just be careful, because if you are, please watch this. In monthly chart, there is no correction. There is no correction since 2022. There is no correction. This is not healthy. This is not a healthy move. Why? Because when you have this kind of moves, very strong moves without any correction, the following correction is deeper, is stronger. So here from 2020 to 2021, 1 year, well, actually 1 year and a half, we didn't have a major corrections, as you can see here. So after that, what happened? Well, a correction of 78% that happened. So now we have since 2023, 2024, 2025. I mean, we have now 2 years actually without any significant correction. So of course, it makes sense to start thinking, well, the correction should be even stronger than before, because now we have not just only weekly chart, we have monthly chart with multiple various divergences. So it's not hard for me to imagine and think like, okay, if it could be maybe 60, 70, 80% crash, potentially yes. I know you call me crazy, I know, but my job here is to be realistic. I am very realistic with my expectations. I am not just in FOMO all the time, just looking for new when is $1 million. No, my job as a trader, I have to see both sides of both scenarios, right? Of course, Bitcoin the facts are Bitcoin right now is in uptrend, yes, but the question is when we can take profits. That's the question. When? In my case, I am taking profits every time when I see a sell signal. In this case, for example, in weekly chart, right? I bought here Bitcoin in the spot, and after that, the first sell signal was here, and after here, I was trading in futures here. The next big buy opportunity was here, and I sold Bitcoin here, just following my system of trading, as you can see. I bought Bitcoin here, yeah, and after that, I sold Bitcoin at 110, 115. Of course, this is in my main account. Now, the next big buy opportunity, well, it's not coming. I was in short position, looking here in short, looking for a potential better divergence here. I got wrecked here. I lost here. It's totally fine. It's part of the game. So now I am in short again, looking for potential the better divergence here, looking for a potential resolution to the downside. Let's see if actually I am right again with this. Now, let's continue with USD dominance, and I will continue talking about USD dominance from now on, because I think USD dominance will tell us when actually is the top for Bitcoin. And right now here, USD dominance, as you can see, is testing the strongest support, historically speaking, of this chart. As you can see, 4%, 4.10 is actually the strongest area. And as you can see here, every time when we have this bounce, of course, maybe let's see in weekly chart, it's going to be much better. In the long term, every time when USD dominance is testing this area, we have a major bounce, and well, what we can expect, major bounce, because also we have low volatility. All this cloud here is blue, so USD dominance is actually in consolidation. And this is very dangerous for all the crypto space. Why? Because this chart is testing the strongest support in the history of this chart, right? So of course, if you're bullish, you want to see a breakdown, and believe me, if you see a breakdown, Bitcoin will hit 200k this cycle, 250k. It's gonna be very strong, but it's possible, yeah. What about probabilities? No. Here is like this, right? So the question is when. Well, we have to see. We have here our buy signal here in weekly chart, but I am looking for a potential monthly buy signal. Yeah, monthly buy signal. It doesn't matter if we see another leg down. If we see another leg down to maybe 3.50, it's gonna be a big buy opportunity here. Why? Because if we see, actually something I don't want to see this, because if we see another leg down here, the USD dominance making a new low here is gonna test the MA55. Of course, the market will be very bullish. Maybe Bitcoin will hit maybe 130k, 140k, but at the same time, in USD dominance, we will see a bullish variance here forming, and that is something I don't want to see, because if we see it, the bounce here is gonna be super strong, so Bitcoin is gonna start crashing so bad and very fast. I saw it in the past, so I don't want to see it again, because I want to see this is just in consolidation. As long as this is in consolidation, we could see maybe altcoins keep pumping here in alt season, as you said. Or are you expecting? But the thing here is, like, this is a time bomb. In the moment when you see a buy signal here, let me go to bi-weekly chart, because potentially we could see, yeah, I think bi-weekly chart is gonna be the trigger for me. Maybe in October, if we see a buy signal here in October, November, it's gonna be very strong. So that's why I think we are, in my opinion, right, we are in the last phase of this bull market, where actually potentially we are very close to see the top of this market, very, very close. Maybe it could be 120k, or maybe another leg down, maximum 130, 35, but no more than that. And after that, 2026, I am expecting to see a major correction, maybe 65, 75, maximum 85% drop, and all the market should be actually, it's healthy. It's healthy for all of us, for the market, because right now it's too expensive. Everything is too expensive. As investor, of course, I don't want to buy here, right? As an investor, as a trader, of course, yeah, you can trade anytime, right? 4 hour, 1 day chart, but as investor, no, thank you. I think right now, for investing, the stock market is more attractive. But crypto, I think, is not attractive anymore. It's too expensive, at least in my opinion. I have some altcoins, actually. Some altcoins, for example, I like this chart, DOT. Yeah, DOT actually is looking very nice with a bullish variance here. Looking for maybe six or maybe even more, 6, maybe 8, 9 in the following months. Let's see if I am right. Now let's talk about BNB. Wow, BNB hit $1,000 yesterday, and the markets are so excited about BNB. Now, usually when you see this kind of very important numbers, 1,000, is when, by psychology, using psychology, many people start selling. Yeah, because it's a number. That happened exactly with Bitcoin hit $10,000 long time ago. Yeah. When Bitcoin hit 100k, we saw correction to 75, right? So I'm expecting, makes sense actually for me. I'm not saying crash, of course not, a pullback, but maybe after that you can expect maybe a pullback here. But don't get me wrong, this altcoin is in uptrend, very strong uptrend. Actually, this is the altcoin I'm thinking to trade in futures, Ethereum, and also now BNB. So what I'm waiting right now is just a decent pullback all the way down to the MA55, and as long as Bitcoin is in uptrend and sideways, I am willing to trade this, of course with very low leverage, because I don't like the volatility of altcoins in futures. So looking for maybe continuation and doctors to maybe 1,000, but I'm waiting. Now let's talk about Ethereum. As you can see, Ethereum, this pump in 1 day chart was disappointed. I mean, it's only. I mean, I mean, not bad. 11% is not bad, but I was looking for a potential breakout, but that didn't happen. The time is almost over. There is no volume, and the volume is actually making new lows. So it's very obvious for me. As you can see here, we have the bars. The bars here are between brown, orange, right? People, or especially people with a lot of money, they are not interested here. This is looking more like a distribution, not like consolidation anymore. So if we go to the weekly chart here, we will see a sell signal very soon. So makes sense, actually makes sense. Looking for a potential pullback, testing the previous support or resistance around 3,800 actually makes sense for me. Now let's continue with hype, because I got some requests yesterday. I cannot tell you anything about this thing. The only thing I can tell you right now is doing very well. Yes, of course, in bull markets is good. The question is if actually the performance is going to be good enough also in bear markets. Maybe, right? But well, what I can tell you right now, the trend is your friend. And as you can see here, every time when hype is testing ME55, ME55, ME55 is actually trending to the upside. So if you're looking for to buy this thing, wait for the pullback, and after that continuation, as long as Bitcoin is in sideways or uptrend, right? Let's talk about more altcoins, because I got some requests yesterday. Yeah. One of the requests was Tron. Well, maybe you think like is not famous, but well, remember Tron is very important in the ecosystem of crypto. And as you can see here, this thing since 2022 is in a massive bull run. I really like this chart. 500% in 3 years is amazing here. Now we have a better divergence right now here, but the better divergence we have here is actually a fake signal, because we don't have the same setup in volume. So what I'm trying to say here, this thing is gonna keep pumping up. Of course, this is not the best setup. If you want to trade this thing, you have to go to the 1-day chart. Be careful with volatility, because as you can see here, volatility is extremely high in altcoins. If you follow my system, there is a very high chance you will get stopped because there are a lot of wicks. You see, there are many wicks here. Stop hunting here, because volatility is extremely high with altcoins. That's why I don't like it. That's why I don't like trading in futures altcoins, because I know volatility, stop hunting is something actually is very normal, and I don't like it. I don't like it because I will be stopped very often. I will get stopped very often. That's why I don't trade altcoins with futures. I buy in a spot. Now quant, let me show you quant. Quant actually is not. The buy signal was few months ago. Remember, I said here, this is the buy signal textbook. Buy signal here, volume was very healthy. I said long time ago is like this, and the target should be around 100. Of course, after a few months, we have 67%. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Now, good news is, even with the sell signal here, even with this sell signal here, with a better divergence, of course, we have the correction here, but quant has the opportunity to prove us this area is not resistance anymore, it's actually support, and actually is doing very well. Get ready, because if this month quant somehow is holding this area and you see a buy signal here, my friend, from here is to the upside, and potentially from here you could see another 160, 170 around here. This is the area I want to start looking for a potential target if that happened this month. Okay, now let's continue with the stock market. Let me continue with the stock market, because yep, first of all here, Adobe. The Adobe, I am very bullish here. Bullish divergence here, still looking for this move. Yeah, I am very bullish here. I love this chart. I am very bullish with Adobe. And also, let me show you the gold. Gold here is actually very interesting here. I was looking for a better divergence right now, but we got invalidation. So gold is gonna keep pumping here for a long time, I think. Long time. So as you can see here, this high, we don't have the confirmation yet, but looks like the better divergence I was looking for is not valid anymore. So if you see a pullback, this pullback is going to be a buy opportunity. If we go to 1-day chart, this pullback you will see potentially this week on the following weeks is gonna be a big buy opportunity, looking for continuation. Now, my next target for gold. My first target was after this. I started like looking, like paying attention more about gold. Here about 2000. My first target was 3000, and the second was 3500. Now I'm looking for actually mid 4000s. So I am looking for in the following months. I am looking for 4500, sorry, 4500 around here. I am looking for this area. And now the question is the reason why you're looking for this kind of things. Well, let me show you. When you don't have confluence, you don't have historical data here in the past. The best way to do that is with Fibonacci levels. So here is actually when we have in this new high or price discovery, right? Let me show you. One moment. Yep, here Fibonacci retracement here. So if we use the bottom here, the bottom of this move, the top of this move, the bottom here. Now we have here different points, as you can see here. So the first one, when I said here, is around a 3000. I remember 3000 here is because of this one. 1.618 around here. This is the first target. As you can see here, we have this extension, and the second one is this one, the 2.618. Looks like there is a very high chance to see gold testing this one. To be honest, it's gonna be the first time since I started doing something like this. I mean, I've started trading to see something like this. Like, it's impressive. Usually when you see this kind of moves, we can expect a massive crash after that, but in gold actually is looking very good. And the rule is very simple. When you see the market, gold is pumping, even with the stock market is pumping hard as well. The thing here is like, this is just a major warning. Like, in some point the stock market could crash very bad, because investors in the macro picture, in the macro scale, they are actually aware of something. They are careful. They feel the economy is not good. Something is bad. So that's why in general, when you see gold super bullish like this, we can expect in some point major corrections in the markets. So that's why we have to be careful here. Now let's talk about Oracle. Oracle actually is very interesting here. Oracle has been in the monthly in a major uptrend since 2005. As you can see here, major bounce. This rally is amazing here. Oracle, I don't know exactly what they are doing, but they are doing very well. I really like it. So someone asked me, hey, is too late to buy? Well, following my seasonal trend, there is no opportunity right now. You have to wait for a pullback. Now let's continue with Nike. Nike, as you can see here, I was looking for 70 and the next area 50. So the average price you are buying this with DSA between 70 and 50 is around 62, 63, and I am bullish here. Still, if we go to the micro time frames, this thing is about to pump. Of course, in the following months, maybe next year, but volatility is very low. Yeah, but this is like this in the long term. Looking for maybe the next 2-3 years, we could see maybe 150, potentially yes. Now let's talk about Nvidia. Nvidia one more time. Let me show you one day chart. One day chart, Nvidia is actually showing this buy signal here, looking for another test to 170, 185. I think that's all, guys, in the stock market. That's all. Now let me go back to Bitcoin, and after that I think it's done for today. Let me show you here in Bitcoin. Okay, one more time. As I said before, Bitcoin is testing the resistance right now. Here it's not very smart looking for longs right now, at least in my case. I actually short him right now. Bitcoin, my position is right now here around 117k, around there. Looking for a short-term pullback. Well, for now it's short-term. Because we have a very strong setup here with a better average right now here. As you can see here, let me show you here. We have the momentum is making a higher low, and here we have a higher high, and also we have here a higher low, right? So not just only here, also we have here as well another higher low here. So there is a very high probability to see Bitcoin dropping all the way down to 115k around here. If this area breaks, a massive leg down, of course, in this time frame, all the way down to 114k, 112. If that happens, I will just keep my short position open for a potential swing. But for now, the target in short term should be around 115k. Now, in 1-day chart, let me show you something. Please be careful about this, because this move, at least following my seasonal trading, is telling me this move here, this move, it could be a phase signal, because we have multiple orange bars with also an orange dot. This is telling me is a bearish divergence, in volume, not price action, in volume. So this is telling me the price is moving to the upside, but it's very weak. Now we have here the volume is decent here in OBB, but it's not impressive. So that's why be careful here, because in the following days potentially we could see a sell signal here. If Bitcoin cannot break, maybe in maximum 2 days, 120k, we could see a major leg down. Well, not major leg down, but a pullback all the way down to, as I said before, 114, and potentially a break, potentially 108, potentially yes, but level by level, let's see if Bitcoin can actually break in the following 2 days 120k. If Bitcoin breaks 120k, of course we could expect another new all-time high. If Bitcoin breaks 120k, you will see very fast Bitcoin pumping all the way up to 130k and potentially continuation. But for now, I think it's better to be defensive, at least in my case, because I don't open longs when the asset is testing resistance. Remember basic rules in trading: never long resistance, never short supports. Okay, right now we are in resistance, so we don't open longs. In this case, we should start looking for shorts only if we have the setup. Okay, because even sometimes we are in resistance, but if we don't have the setup, well, that could mean like maybe the asset is just strong. It's very strong, and it's potentially it could break the resistance. So that's why we have to wait for confirmations. Okay, guys, I think that's all for today.